Always a beautiful evening, especially when you have a hot cup of beverage in your hand while watching or chilling by listening to beautiful comic content that just makes your day. It's the Amina Atairu Show today, and as always promises to be really interesting. Have you ever wondered the art of creating indigenous content? Understanding that Nigeria is a country mixed with diverse culture. Well, today we're going to be looking at one of Nigerians' finest, I would say, content creators, actor, master of ceremony, just to mention a few. But before I unveil who that person is, we'll be right back. This day. The Amina Atairu Show, Finding Answers. Thank you for always staying tuned. It's the Amina Atairu Show. I almost choked of laughter earlier on because of what my guest said. I have with me someone that people would say, Bodanuru. That's what they call him. I want Bodanuru. And others know him as Yemi Elesho. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome one of Nigeria's finest content creators, Yemi Elesho.
Thank you very much.
Yemi Elesho.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm all right.
Good
I'll be
hear.
better with extra things.
Don't worry, let's start.
We should start, Abby.
Yes, Let's start now.
Okay, great. So, I was looking at the whole indigenous content, a lot of people trying to carve a niche for themselves. And I said, how has Yemi Elesho been doing it? You have a growing exponential number of following on the digital space and even offline. And I said, how did this all start for you?
Well, let me say, growing up, for once, I have never even dreamt one day and see myself as a content creator.
Really?
I didn't see it coming. I started on stage. I think in 2009, officially, I started by going to secondary schools, get their syllabus, then tell them, okay, we are coming for you. We want to come and display drama. Then they would call PTA meetings, tell parents, oh yeah, some drama group are coming. Okay, let's not forget, I had a drama group.
Okay.
It was the Pillar Theatre Ministry, because mostly I go for night videos, praise nights. Yeah, back then in Ikorodu.
You're a church boy.
I'm a Muslim. But because of the fact that, okay, as at 2005, 2006, 2007 upward, it was kind of difficult for you to get into the industry. Even with the fact that, okay, I had the backbone, my dad. But then it doesn't take us out, only if they come to use our house for filming. That's when I get to see these faces. Young as I was, how do I approach them that, come on, I want to be acting? But I've always had that thing.
And you never told your dad that you wanted to be an actor?
Do you think that my dad was that simple to approach? You want to be a uncanny? He would never list. You can't even go and meet him and say, I want to become. Like, it was, hey, when my dad is around, I'm not funny.
Really?
I'm not funny. He laughs outside, he laughs in his movies, he laughs on stages, but he doesn't laugh when he's around. Who dares laugh when he's around? Who are you? You want to laugh. Laugh, that's what. So when he's around, we're always in our room.
So he was
either you are reading intentionally or you are forming it or you are faking it. Do one. You must be caught doing something. My dad doesn't want to see you do your hands like this or rest like this, except you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, it doesn't do anything. In fact, it doesn't allow people to wake you when you are sleeping. But you are alive, you are breathing. You are not doing anything. Your hands are formed this way. He finds your hands like this.
Was he into, did he have a military background or something?
He was just a disciplined man. Like, I don't know. This man doesn't, he doesn't just want to see you being jobless. He doesn't want to see you being jobless. That's one thing about him. So I couldn't tell him, but I had that thing in me. As I didn't grow up in Lagos too, or yeah. And when I'm just doing my thing, all these agbalagba in the neighborhood would just call me into their midst, come and make us laugh, this and that. They buy Igbo. You know Igbo now. They will buy Igbo for me. Buy me rice, 2 naira. Yes, now. Don't worry, sit, eat. When I'm not around, they ask after me, where's Yemi? Then, I never even knew Elesho was my dad. I used to hear, Elesho is your dad. So at the point when I was growing up, my friends were using it against me. You are a bastard. They said, you say Elesho is your dad. Where is he? I think when I was 14, I flew from Oyo to Lagos with just 200 naira. 200 naira. I want to know my dad. And at the front of our park, I used to hear pen cinema. So me, I thought it's where they used to show all this cinema. I enter car. No. I just enter bus. I was wearing my mom's tights. All these tights, all these.
Those long ones, no?
Yeah, wine color. No long go. Short. And the driver was like, getting salo. Like that. The driver thought I was running away because that thing was, I think it was rampant then in Oyo. People fly from Oyo to Pelewura. People wants to go and do all this Omodo. That's how they run away. But in my own case, I was too young. And the driver was like, no, I'm not going with you. And one guy just shout, you remain one passenger. I say, we go sleep here. So they move me inside car. And that was it. So now, so I come Lagos. So, in fact, I don't know where they go. I stop when I see this thing. I see Marua. That was the first time I would see a car with 3 tires. I just dropped. I think when I dropped, the conductor was shouting, Ogbeni, this is Ogbao, this is Ogbao. And where is Pen Cinema self?
Pen Cinema is that Agege side, right?
Agege side. So if you are coming from places like Oyo, you would have to pass through Ogba now. The guy was like, this is Ogbao, this is Ogbao. And I dropped. I went to sit inside the Marua. After 30 minutes, I didn't see anyone to join me because I expected the Marua to move. One guy just came. Hey, look, lap. He said, Kushi Hankan. Look, say me. Hey, Moon Loni. Car wash Nibina. So I've been sitting inside.
You were 14, right?
Yeah.
How many years ago was that?
Hey,
what year, if you remember?
Is that not? Hey, God, assignment. I was just 14. If that is not 2021 or 2, I've been there about, I don't know. I can't remember. After this program.
2001 or 2020?
2001.
2001.
Is it 2001?
Yeah, 2001 or 2002.
Or 2, yeah. That time, we know they know dates now. No, be who get money, they remember the. So I just come Lagos. I did my back home.
How were you able to find your dad?
Yeah, when I used to know one man, Afar Rashid in Aja. I don't know if there was Lekki, if there was Admiralty, they call everything Aja.
Okay.
So that guy that met me at the what's it called? The car wash, I told him I'm going to Aja. He said I should enter Obalende. So from Obalende, I entered Aja. So from Aja, I was telling them I would drop at Babish, because the man that came to Oyo then said his house is not far from Babish and his name is Afar Rashid. And he has all these Omole kills.
And you were 14.
I was just asking. And then you see our money does not have value again. Yeah. I bought suya 10 naira. I ate that suya till I got to that Afar's house. So when I got to the guy's place, I started crying. He said, what happened? I said, my mama no go die. I just like say my mama don't die.
Are you serious?
And now, if I don't tell her say my mama don't die, he go send me back now. Also the guy just put me for house. So anywhere he sees people shooting, he would go there. Please, we are looking for Elesho, his son is here. But mostly it's all this English film they shoot around that area 10. I think it was around, I think around Jakonde side, sha. Then one day, I don't know what happened. I don't know. He just called me, Ogbeni. I don't know any of your mother's relatives, so I'm sending you back to Oyo. I was just crying all through that. I don't know anybody in Oyo again. My mom is late. Why do you want to do this? I said, no, yeah. I just cry, enter room again. I went to sleep on his praying mat. I don't even know what led me to the praying mat. Just slept on his praying mat. After 2 minutes, I heard, Ekudede we yorùkọ mi ni Adéwálé Elesho. Lórí ètò. Adéwálé where? I hear am for TV. That's why I hold remote. I hold the remote and I increased the volume and I shouted, "Oh, Tiri Daddy me." I won't forget, that was the same way I scripted. "Oh, Tiri Daddy me." Everybody rushed up, and tried writing down the phone number because it was.
What was he doing on TV then? Was he presenting a show or something?
I don't know if I can mention it. Yeah. So that time he get one this thing advert when they do. Just started shouting, Tiri Daddy me, Tiri Daddy me. Everybody rushed up and he got. I think he mentioned the number to call on the program.
Oh, yeah?
So we went downstairs to call him. There was no business center. There is this man, Jongu. They call him Jongu. I think Jongu or something. We went to their house to call. So when we called him, so they wrote down the number. And the next morning, I was expecting to see Oma. Was that even Oma then? I don't know. I was expecting to see a very big car.
Oh, ho.
Innocent me. I sat at the front of the house like this. Anytime I see a big jeep, I'll say, "Hey, yes, that's my dad." Eventually, he didn't come the day 1, the day 2. So when he eventually came, he came with one starlet, one small starlet like this.
Your dad came with a Scarlet. Were you disappointed?
Yeah, I think, should I say I was? But because back then in Oyo, we used to hear that actors, all these filmmakers, they have money, they have this, most especially the cars they use in their movies. So I was expecting him to come with one of those big cars they've used in the movie. But then I was happy seeing my dad, and he said, "You are living here today." And that was the first time I was seeing him.
That was the first time you see him?
Yeah, and he said, "Look, we are living here today." So he took me to Ikorodu. I pay for Ikorodu before I come out to. See, I don't even spend more than 20 years for Ikorodu self.
Wow.
Years now. So when I got home, he asked me, "What do you want to do?" In Oyo. What do I want to do? We have a lot of things we can do. I didn't even tell him I wanted to go back to school or go to school. Just said I want to learn chemist. He said they don't learn chemist in Lagos. I said, "Yeah, I want to learn chemist too." So I think I spent a year at home without doing anything before he was able to convince me that, okay,
you need to
go
to
back
school.
to school. I said, "School? This head." School care. But eventually, I went back to secondary school, Lagos State Civil Service. Let me say professionally, I started my acting career in 2009. Professionally, what I mean by professionally is, I started earning money from acting, since 2009. We go to secondary school, we go to stages to perform. So, I told you I had a group.
Yes.
The Pillar Theatre Entertainment. The first school we went to was Adebayo Comprehensive College in Ikorodu, Kokoro Abu. We made, wow. We didn't have a curtain. We just wanted to, rough it and start like that before we could gather money for curtain. And that man, I don't know, one Alaji that owns the school gave us the go ahead, gave us the opportunity, and we were supposed to have a curtain so that we could hide at the back of the curtain, but instead we were hiding at the back of the hall. We enter from the back of the hall, enter into the unfortunately for us, it started raining. Someone that was on stage now saying, "My children, I'm coming back." Before he could come back, the chalk and the powder don't rub off. He got the shake head with the young face he carry. That day I was at the backstage crying like, God. Hey, what was all this like this? Mango. Well, after then, the money I got there, I got 13,000 naira.
13,000.
13,000 naira. The mistake I made even then was that I put a teacher. I wasn't supposed to put a teacher at the entrance. I was supposed to put, one of my members. So it was what they gave me, I collected.
Oh.
Yes, and before we even made plans for that trip, I was already saying, come and deliver now. I already thought I could buy a bike, give it to people, give it out for people, to use for me and make delivery for me. But we thank God, I got 13,000 and I make curtains there and some other things, and it started like that. We go to churches, most especially Redeem.
But let me ask a question. You said you're a Muslim.
I'm a Muslim.
And your group was a Christian group.
It was the Pillar Theatre Ministry.
Why did you give it like a churchy name? It's more like a churchy name.
Because then if you want to, if there is anything you have and you want to showcase, you would always go to a church. You don't do those things in. I'm sorry, I don't want to start mentioning, but it is only in a church you can showcase whatever you have in you. So it was, and I was going to church. I was a Muslim, but I was going to church. In fact, I was a worker in Redeem, even in camp, sanitation. Yes, now Riobo Sanctuary, Province 22, House of Celebration. So I had to start going to church. I was a Muslim. I know I was a Muslim because when it comes to Ramadan, I fast. I started going to church, The pastors, they pray for us. Even other pastors will even refer us to other churches to go and, every Sunday, every Thanksgiving Sunday, we go and present drama and everything. And Foursquare. I wanted to say P-Square. Even Foursquare. Those two churches, Foursquare, Redeem, CAC. No.
They were very instrumental to your growth.
Yeah, like we go to church, praise night. In fact, there is this one I will never forget. Overcomer, Redeem, Italewa Ikorodu. After my performance, Simi came to perform too. Ara ile ejijo Jesu dada e ma ba mi ki baba. Yes. He was wearing a long sleeve. I never knew she was going to become this Simi, but I could remember someone. Because I used to like that song. So I was there with her. We performed together. So, it was going like that. Stars International, Winsford, Omat.
So you did a lot. So at that point in time, was your dad in support of your crafts? Was he in support of the fact that you were moving around instead of staying in school?
When I first started, he was in support. Even the first poster we printed out, Nemesis, he even had a copy in his cupboard. Like, he kept it for me. But at a point, when he started hearing my names outside, Yemi Elesho, the Pillar Theatre Entertainment, he gave me the Pillar Theatre Entertainment. It was the Pillar Theatre Ministry. So when he started hearing my name, I don't know, all of a sudden, he said we should not use his compound for rehearsals again. Just sent us out. And he was like, you just have to go to school. Maybe when we started, he didn't think
it was going to be serious.
It was going to be that serious. So he said, no, Yemi, you are not doing this anymore. I won't do this anymore. Okay. Do I have any other thing I want to do? I did not learn anything. I don't have any other thing I want to do. This is just what I want to do. I wasn't making any money. When we go to churches, it's not that they pay. They will pray for us.
And the prayer has helped you.
Of course, it's working. It's only some pastors that will just deem it fit and either give you 2K, 2,000 gone. Give you 2,000, or sometimes we eat in the church. They will give us at least menu.
Wow.
They will just pray for us. And I had about 40 students.
40?
Yes.
In that group?
Shout out to all students of the Pillar Theatre Entertainment. If you are hearing me today, you've won. I'm here, you people are, as we're doing great. Yeah, because my form then was 2,500 naira. Get the form, start acting. No long process. Get a form, start acting. I don't know your daddy, I don't know your mommy. Just go out.
And you're making money 2,500 times 2,400.
2,500.
2,500 times 40. How much is that?
No, it didn't all come as a bulk. It didn't come in a bulk. Like, they were just coming one after the other. Each one tell one, Yemi Elesho is doing this. So, but then, every rehearsal, they pay 15 naira. So 15 as they call me president, like my press, as press, I go buy Pepsi, buy bread on Sunday because our rehearsals is always on Sunday. But then, I can't think. Me wey dey collect 50 naira every Sunday, dey chop ewagaya bread. If I come seriously come, that means I'll start living large. So I didn't stop. At a point, all of them, you know, this one wants to go to school. This one's uncle, we call this one. Yeah, come and continue in so state. At a point, I was left all alone.
Oh, wow.
I was doing the whole thing myself.
And
nobody else.
And how was that
out
for
of
you?
all the 40 students, nobody else.
Nobody else, just
nobody
you.
Did. And we recorded because at a point we stopped going to stage all this school, this thing. We stopped. We said, okay, let's shoot film. Yeah, of course.
Who was your director?
I was a director. I started as a director.
Let me ask a question. Were you following your dad? You know, to set, to understand the craft?
Who wants to follow Elesho? To go and do what? To go and do what? You won't even know when he will leave home now because we are always in the room. It's only his wife that we know when he wants to leave the house. It is only because I'm the first child.
Okay.
Only me. I'll go downstairs, open the gate for him. He don't go. But my mom is an actor. In fact, my mom still works as a radio presenter. I'm Oludo FM.
Oh, really?
Ibadan. Yes, yeah.
And your mom wasn't upset with you when you left home at 14?
She was, so because my dad got her arrested. It was when they later found me that they released her from station. Forgive me. Why am I like this? God, why am I like this?
I would disown you if I were. I would disown you, my son.
I don't do many better things, so she don't forgive me.
Wow.
Yeah, now, so all of them left. The film where we do, it remain to go editor. How we go editor? We won't pay the editor. The Jiasubiojo, shout out to the Jiasubiojo, wherever you are. No, nothing. You never even reach the Jiasubiojo. There is this Uncle Shola Abegianu. There is this police station in Ikorodu then towards Igbe. So there is this beer parlor at the front of that Abegiano. We call him Uncle Shola. It's an elderly man now. He's an editor.
It's amazing how you recall
everything.
The names of the
people. I know nothing where I don't remember.
So let's fast forward now to content creation. To becoming an indigenous content creator. I mean, we have a lot of content creators. Sure. We have the Oluwa Dollars. We have you know, a lot of them that actually pioneered, I would say, content influencing on the digital space. At what point did you decide to say, you know what, I have these people are already doing this thing. Let me go Yoruba.
Yeah, you know, all of those things I told you we do in schools and in churches were content. Because they give us just 5 minutes. Sometimes they give us 3 minutes. Sometimes they give you 3 minutes, and eventually, if anything pops up in the church, they won't even allow you to finish whatever you want to do.
Hey.
So it was, now I can see it as a content. Because, like, sometimes in churches, they will have about 10 to 8 drama group that wants to perform. All of them, their message will center only, they want to, at the end of the whole message, they want you to give your life to Christ and everything. So they call me last. My drama group, they will call us last. Because mine is always funny. Because from the beginning of the program, people must have been crying or might have been crying, this and that. So they will put me at the end to at least have something light to end the whole program.
Nice.
So when I used to have these 2-3 minutes, it was Woli Agba. Woli Agba. It was because of Woli Agba I stopped doing stage. Because the moment Woli Agba comes on stage like this, after he leaves the stage, nobody will stay in the church or will remain in the hall again.
They are gone. They don't close.
Everybody's going. I'll be at the backstage crying with the chalk or with the powder on my face. What was happening? Who is this Woli Agba people? The moment you hear, Baba Soji, even we will be, we go to see Baba Soji for backstage. So if they call him first, Tiwati Bawa.
Wow.
So that is why they will always allow us to perform first before Woli Agba and the rest. So I see those things as content. And eventually, when I ran out of the house, I later left Elesho's house. So I left 2011.
You never.
I left the house.
You wasn't upset that you left.
I didn't. You see, this is who I see that I will know that he's upset. I left. I went to Iwo Road. I was selling face towel. I sold aboniki. Yeah, in the traffic. I sold face towel, bottle. I sold aboniki. I sold bread. Yes. After then, I went to front of UI, that covet. I sold Tampico. Ibadan people will know Tampico. I sold Tampico.
So you left and went back to Ibadan?
And now I left the house now. Me with any bag. You see inside this Tiger Jet carton, I put my load. I don't come out.
The Amina Atairu Show, Finding Answers.
I spoke to him. Kai, if I come Marua, teach me how to ride Marua. He said I was going to pay 5,000 naira. I gave him my Nokia phone. I gave him my Nokia phone. He taught me how to ride Marua just for 2 hours. I started riding Marua. I did Marua for 5 years in Igbobo Shele.
Wow.
The people in the industry, you know how many people where I don't send DMs? Me. I even go send them P Square, man. I suppose DM P Square. I did DM Beyonce. I believe so much in the power of DMs.